boys and girls, and welcome to your second online trumpet lesson. You need to have with you your homework paper, which looks like this, a music stand, and your trumpet, of course. We're going to get right started because we did a lot today in your second lesson, and I want to make sure we get to go over everything. So first we're going to start with your mouthpiece and getting our lips all warmed up. So let's buzz a nice long note. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Good, let's do it again. Keep our lips getting warmed up. Here we go. 1, 2, buzz, ready, go. Very nice. Some things to keep in mind: make sure that your cheeks aren't puffed, that you're keeping the corners of your mouth nice and tight. Now let's try a couple sirens. So we're going to start low buzz, and then we're going to go higher. The way that we do that, if you remember, is we start with a slow buzz, and then we make our way up to a faster buzz, and then slow it down. So let's try that. Here's the siren. I'm going to do 2 sirens in one. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, let's do that one again. This time, see if you can make the siren further apart, even lower and even higher. So looser and tighter lips. Here we go. Same thing, another siren. 1, 2, ready, go. And that's our sirens. Now what we're going to talk about next is extremely important. It is called tonguing. We use tonguing to start notes in band for any instrument except for percussion because they don't need to use a mouthpiece. When you're tonguing, the tip of your tongue needs to go to behind your upper teeth. So say 2, 2, 2. Now whisper 2, 2, 2. You're going to go 2, 2, 2. When you do that, you should feel your tongue up behind your top teeth. So now what I want you to do is take your mouthpiece and you're going to still whisper through your mouthpiece 2, 2, 2. It sounds like this, if you can hear it. That way you can hear my tongue starting the sound, but not the sound yet. So let's try that again. Whispering 2, 2, 2 in your mouthpiece. You could even try a ta and TT pattern, like ta, ta, TT, ta. Let's try that one. Ready, go. Now what I tell you guys in your lesson is if you just blow a little bit faster and tighten up your lips a little bit, you're going to do the same thing. So if I blow a long note and I tighten my lips up as I do it, eventually that tonguing will happen. If I don't tongue, here's what it sounds like. You have to listen really carefully. You miss that really good start to the note. That good articulation is what we call it. When I do tongue, it sounds like this. There's a really sharp start to the note. So you need to practice tonguing. If you've got it down, you need to do it for every single note that you play. If you're still working on it, I can give you some extra tips in your lesson. But really try hard to get that tongue up and away from your teeth, like you're saying 2, 2, 2. All right, let's do a couple more buzzing things. So we did our sirens, we did some long notes. So number 3 is buzzing exercises. So we're going to try doing hot cross buns on buzzing. So remember, it goes hot cross buns. So we're going high, medium, low. So I'm going to show you with my hand, high, medium, low. When it's a high buzz, we're going to buzz fast. And when it's a low buzz, we're going to buzz slow. Okay, here we go. Hot cross buns, starting high. 1, 2, use your tongue. Ready, go. Now, if you wanted to kind of experiment with your tonguing, sometimes it's easier for people to tongue faster and tongue a lot of notes. So you could do hot cross buns with tonguing a bunch on each note. Ta 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 ta. All it could be with your tongue, but it's still hot cross buns. Let's try that and see what happens. Here we go. Starting up high, using our tongue. Ready, go. Stay low. kind of different, but it's still the same song. Alright, you can make up your own ta and TT pattern, and just like we do in our lessons, you could play one and we will all repeat you, possibly in our lesson if you've got a good one ready. Alright, assembly and holding the trumpet. Finally, here we go. So grab your trumpet. We want to put our mouthpiece into the trumpet. Now remember that when we put it in and we give it a twist. If you just put your mouthpiece in, there's a good chance that eventually it'll get stuck and I'll have to take it out with my mouthpiece puller. Don't try and take it out at home. I have a tool for it. So again, you put your mouthpiece in, give it a twist, and it's fine. Alright, you're going to hold your trumpet like you're shaking hands with it, with your left hand. So I'm going to be holding it with my, what looks like my right hand, but it's going to be opposite for you. So hold up your left hand, put that around your trumpet, like you're shaking hands with it, thumb in the back and fingers through. And then your other hand, you're going to take and put your thumb in between the first and second valves, and then you're going to put your fingers on the top of the valves. 1, 2, 3. Now the other thing is a lot of people think that we put our pinky into this hook on the trumpet, but we actually rest our pinky on top. So it should not be in this hook. You don't need it to help you hold your trumpet. We just need our fingers on top of the valves. Alright, now we need to talk about which valves are which. The valve closest to your face and closest to the mouthpiece is the first valve. Then we have the second valve, and then we have the third valve. You can use the valves in all sorts of combinations. You can use 1, 2, 3. Very commonly we have 1 and 2. That's first and second. You push them together. We also have 1 and 3. And then sometimes we have 2 and 3. And very rarely we have 1, 2, 3. Alright. Just put our mouthpiece in, we got our fingers all set. Now we need to learn our first notes. So we are going to learn E, D, and C. Now if you look at your paper, I drew in the fingerings for you with the valve numbers underneath. So if you're looking at E, E is first valve, which is the one closest to you and the mouthpiece, and second valve. So you put them down together. Now whenever I'm playing trumpet and I'm starting with a note that uses my valves, I always push the valves down first. So we're going to try playing an E. It's going to need a fast buzz, tight corners, and you have to try and remember to start with your tongue, which is a lot to remember, but we're going to see if you can do it. So holding it with our left hand like we're shaking hands with the trumpet, thumb between the first and second valve, fingers on top. We're going to try E, so push down 1 and 2 together. Get your lips ready, corners tight. Here we go. Ready, remember to tongue. Ready, go. And that's an E. Let's try it again. Here we go. Ready, go. Alright, so I want to play a pattern and I want you guys to repeat after me. Me first. Here I go. Ready, go. Now you. Very nice. Alright, so you can keep doing that. Make up patterns. Use your old patterns from lesson 1 to play on your trumpet, but we need to learn another note, D. If you look at your paper, the first circle is filled in and the third circle is filled in. So we're doing 1 and 3. This note is going to be slightly lower. So we have E, D is a little bit lower. So let's try that one. Here's D. Ready, go. Now think to yourself, did you start that note with your tongue? If not, we definitely have to do it again. So here we go. Here's another D. If you did, good job remembering and keep practicing that. Here's the D. Start it with your tongue. Ready, go. And that's a D. Now we're going to do one more note. This is the easiest one. We've kind of practiced this one already. We're not going to use any vowels, and this one, if you look at your paper, is called C. So no vowels. That means your fingers just float on top. And let's try C. Don't forget the tongue. Ready, go. Now one more thing to add about playing a note on your trumpet. If you notice that before I play the C, I breathe in through my mouth, not through my nose. I breathe in through my mouth because I can get more air that way, and we always want more air when we're playing a brass instrument. So let's try that again. Breathe through your mouth, tongue, sit up nice and straight. Here we go. Here's our C. Ready, go. And that's That's a C. So, quick review, we have E, 1 and 2, D, 1 and 3, C, open. Now, one quick tip, which we'll talk more about in our lessons. When I'm going from E to D, there's one valve that's in common, the first valve. So what that means is when I go from E to D, I don't need to lift up my first valve. I simply go E, roll to D, not E, lift D. So keep that in mind as we go on to our next activity. The next thing we're going to do is try this song. What I would recommend is saying it out loud. That's what I'm going to do with you guys. And do the valves at the same time. So the first three notes, it says E, 1 and 2, D, 1 and 3, C. Then you do it again. E, 1 and 2, D, 1 and 3, C. Then lots of C's in a row. C, 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 move to D, 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 then 1 and 2 for E, 1 and 3, D, C. And now if you haven't already figured that song out, it's actually Hot Cross Buns. So we're going to try playing Hot Cross Buns, looking at your paper and remembering E is 1 and 2, D is 1 and 3, and C is open. Here we go. 1, 2, I'll give you reminders as we go. Use your tongue. Sit up straight. Here, start with E, 1 and 2. Ready? Go. 1 and 3. Now C. Do that again. Now stay on C, no fingers. 1 and 3. E, 1 and 2, use your tongue. D. So that is Hot Cross Buns. What I'd really like you guys to do is try to play that a bunch of times. You might even, I have a lot of kids that do this, you might even end up memorizing it as you go. So I really want you to think about what is E, 1 and 2, what is D, 1 and 3, and what is C. That should start to be automatic because those are some of our basic trumpet notes that you guys need to know. Alright, that is everything on this page. The key things from this lesson are tonguing and E, D, and C. But tonguing is probably even more important. If you can't remember E, D, and C, but your tongue is working and touching the back of your teeth, that is excellent. That's what we need from lesson 2. Alright, what I need you guys to do is fill out what you practiced. So if you went along with the whole video with me, you can check off every single box. I did it. Things to try, tonguing, buzzing, assembly of the trumpet, and first notes. So you can check those off. Please try to practice 5 to 7 times this week, and remember to get it signed by your parents. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I can't wait to hear you play Hot Cross Buns in your lesson. See you later!